Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's dive. The internet is an odd place, but by far some of the strangest things one can find are hidden in plain view on one of Earth's most popular sites, that being YouTube. Let's begin here on this catalog of videos posted by user IGAZI to Reddit. Most of these are interesting but not quite video worthy, except one entry in particular right up at the top. IGAZI says the following: gore crap again with period searching thing. One of them is a movie scene, the other IDK. The video does not disappoint, so much so that despite it being on YouTube, I can't actually show it unblurred myself because my channel will magically evaporate from the platform. Too much yapping though, here it is on screen. What's happening in this video is so shocking, I couldn't believe it at first. I actually clicked off once I realized, but for you guys, I went back and finished it. The uploader has applied a very heavy filter, discoloring and distorting the video to the point an AI detection system wouldn't pick up what's going on behind it, which is very, very clever, and in fact, like myself, I didn't even pick up at what was actually happening at first. This is a tactic used by creators who wish to upload things that break YouTube guidelines without suffering the consequences and having it taken down. The AI detection systems, which use computer vision, literally cannot see beyond these filters. I can't describe exactly what's happening in the video because it'll get taken down, so I'm going to use an analogy. In this video, there are a series of pumpkins being carved by someone using a sharp metal object, and at various intervals one can see the pumpkins squirm as their seeds fall out. Except it's not pumpkins. I'll just let that one sink in for you. Curious to learn more, it became obvious that there wasn't much else to know, as this is only one of 2 videos on this channel, and the description and titles offer us nothing but misdirection, and the comments, despite there being some, are not visible to us as they've most likely been auto-redacted by YouTube. Interestingly, the other video is of what is clearly a movie scene based on the dramatization and music. However, I think this was most likely done intentionally, perhaps to throw off detection systems, which are on highest security level for an individual's first upload. So the user programmed the AI to think this was normal, by uploading a movie clip with the filters on that managed to bypass detection protocols despite it being gory in and of itself. He then uploads a second video that is not from a movie, and the algorithm, already knowing that this user uploads overly filtered and distorted content, bypasses the video altogether without tagging it for manual review. And so we are now bearing witness to a bona fide human carving session. So sad, so creepy, but merely the beginning of our dive. So buckle up, kiddos, because Miss Frizzle's about to crank this thing into hyperdrive. About 2 months ago, user No Signal posted to r/Internet Mysteries asking for others' thoughts on this strange video he uploaded to his childhood YouTube channel. The video itself is completely normal and actually pretty sweet. It's just him as a kid bouncing up and down on his trampoline, teaching us his favorite tricks. But what he noticed when playing back this video with his friends was rather odd. In his Reddit post, No Signal says the following: "Last night me and my friends were looking over my old YouTube channel. We looked at my first video, first person flips on trampoline, and saw something I can't explain. It was someone sitting behind a table cross-legged near my trampoline, the table blocking their face. For starters, I remember being outside alone when I made this video. Cliche, I know, but what I can't explain is a dark protrusion that moves upward when I pan towards it. The screen turns blue whenever my camera goes in that direction as well. In the photo, it looks like the black protrusion can be the camera quality or makes it seem like it's still, so it could be something in the background. Luckily, I have the video. If you're skeptical, just watch it. Here's the link."
That was that. Here's called a backbone backflip. What you do for this, you jump on your back. You jump onto your back and then do a backflip. Right, here we go. Alright, so I did that. I might not do all the tricks I know in the video, but for the last, I'll try this one and see if I can beat this one. This one's just kind of hard, right? So here we go. Nope, I didn't do it. Alright guys, that was it for now, and I'll see you later.
So that is super duper mondo weird. Remember, Signal tells us that he was alone when he took this video, and in some of his replies to the commenters on his post, he goes as far as to say that he intentionally made sure he was alone for the recording of this video. So there is no chance, assuming he's telling the truth, that this watcher, as it were, could be anyone he knows, or anyone he would have even recognized. Moreover, the person sitting there is himself very strange. The first thing I noticed is that whoever this is either doesn't have a head, which could be chalked up to the table blocking his upper half, or has something obstructing us from seeing his face, which is what this black object in front of him might be. It literally makes no sense. In fact, in this video, really nothing makes sense. Playing the video back each of the 3 times the watcher comes into view, the same thing is coming out of his neck or hands, whatever you want to call it, and in my opinion, it kind of looks like a skateboard. What's more, several users noted that the color of the camera is as expected throughout the video until it pans over to the watcher, at which point in time the color shifts to this strange blue hue. Most of the debate here is going to split up into 2 sides. On one hand, we have the paranormal peeps, and on the other, it's just a creepy kid guys. And assuming this were another child, then I'm going to ask you, is that really much less creepy? Because in both cases, something completely unseen by the kid filming is sitting there cross-legged like a child, holding something in front of his face and remaining out of sight as it peeps at him from behind a table. And even stranger, why would a kid just be sitting there, or just as strangely, be holding a skateboard above his head to block his face, meaning he's staring at the backside of a skateboard? I assure you, kids are weird. I would know. I used to hit people, especially my brothers, with a chunky orange plastic hammer, and even threw my brother's Game Boy off a cruise ship. Allegedly. So I get it, but never have I encountered a child who sits intently like he's watching, but is actually just covering his face like he doesn't want to be seen. Even stranger is the first time the camera pans over to the watcher, you can see a slight flinch as if he thinks he's been caught, which means in my mind the furthering of the notion that this kid does not want to be seen, if it is a kid, and it also makes me wonder how this kid is seeing the camera through a skateboard or whatever is in front of his face. Something about this whole thing just doesn't feel right to me at all, and this video has been living rent-free in my head now for a couple weeks since I first decided to make this video, and until I know more or have a thoughtful solution to what this could be, it's going to continue to live rent-free up there. So please, satiate my curiosity and let me know what you think the watcher is down below. Takakura Ken. Our next channel on this list is a mixture of this disturbing, horrible music, children, and just plain weirdness. It's fair to say straight off the bat that this is a dead channel. The most recent upload was 9 months ago, the following 2 years ago, and the one after that is 6 years old. But that's what makes this even more interesting. Diving into the first video, we get a look at what most of this channel will consist of. I haven't even the faintest idea what that title might mean, so I decided to translate the title of this video, and it reads as follows: Can music kill? With a title like that, we gotta watch the video. So I'm going to include a clip from it, not the whole thing, because the more you watch, the more your brain's gonna start hurting. That was something, wasn't it? A lot of oddly unhappy children reported at some questionable angles with very little parental intervention to help them progress through their emotions in a healthy manner. It's just camera after camera recording various children at their lowest and most tearful moments. And the music, if you can call it that, is actively horrendous, sounding more like a black site torture track than anything else. Other than that though, this video holds almost no clues that I could notice, except for the description, despite being almost empty, does bear some fruit. And the description simply reads the following: UX, NX, IX, CX, EXF, which, after a little decrypting, is actually just a link to an Instagram. And when I hopped over there, I first assumed there were no posts, until I accidentally scrolled down and my mouse swung over and I realized these are all posts. They have all just been blacked out, which, needless to say, is extremely odd. Clicking on the posts, it becomes pretty clear very quickly we are dealing with the same guys from the YouTube channel, as the brain rot music begins playing and pervading the brain on most of the posts you click on. The ones it doesn't, however, turn out to be some very strange little uploads indeed, including this one of a scantily clad chick with a tattoo on display. Without being able to see the thumbnails of the posts, there's little to go on, especially considering there's 184 posts on the Instagram alone. However, it seems that whatever these lads were up to is over on here as well, since the Instagram hasn't had a fresh upload since July 19th of 2020. It's also worth noting that none of their posts get more than 2 likes. Gee, I wonder why. On top of that, there's nothing in their tag section, and so now we're gonna have to go to the devious link that's just chilling up at the top. I really did not want to click on it, and at first when I did, I thought that with 100% certainty I was about to download something that would eat my computer alive, but it turns out it's seemingly just an archive of all their work, with lots of yelling and screaming mixed in. And so we depart the Instagram and head back to the YouTube channel. Watching their other videos, we are met with basically the exact same thing. It's either children screaming and having tantrums with their music over top, or some live recordings. The post that stands out to me above the rest though is this one entitled CP, with a simple black thumbnail overlaid with the white letters C and P. I'm sure you're probably picking up on what I'm putting down here. CP is an abbreviation typically reserved for one thing, that being better known these days as Cheese Pizza. And that title with the added context of the imagery posted on the channel makes me pretty heavily suspicious about what's going on here. And it makes me wonder if perhaps this is a gateway of sorts from the clear web onto the deeper layers of the internet where one can access such things. I know that these links do exist on the clear web for purchasing illegal identification, drugs, but as far as the rest, I couldn't even attest to. I also wonder that if perhaps buried in the audio files or on the Instagram, if one knew where to look, there was a link. I don't know. I also don't really want to know. And when it comes to these things, I just flag it and report it, tell you guys about it so you can report it, and then leave the premises immediately. It's not the kind of place you want to spend a lot of time on. But wait, there's more. The next entry in this video is one that got recommended to me via YouTube itself. It's an incredibly obscure video I can assure you have never seen, mostly because it only has 27 views. It's entitled 90s Summer Camp VHS Promo, and for whatever reason, every time I see the thumbnail, this guy makes my creepometer go wild. The video was uploaded 3 months ago by a user named Gagoland Inc., and initially the video is exactly what it sounds like it'll be, a 90s VHS tape promoting a local summer camp. It's eerie for a number of reasons, the VHS aesthetic, and the fact that everyone in these videos is super old now, but that's not exactly what's creepy or off-putting about this video. Throughout the whole 15 minutes and 41 seconds of this video, there are several times where I'm left going, wait, what did I just see? And the first happens around the 4-minute and 43-second mark.
This is Doris, one of the animals that we have in the Nature Center. Hi, Doris. Now that you've seen some of the fun your child will have at Swift Nature Camp, I'd like to share with you what a typical camp day is like.
Did you catch it? Beyond the disconcerting staring past the camera like he's a hostage or the weird room straight out of a 90s catalog, there's something distinctly off about our narrator himself. I'll play the clip again and zoom in this time.
This is Doris, one of the animals that we have in the Nature Center. Hi, Doris. Now that you've seen some of the fun your child will have at Swift Nature Camp, I'd like to share with you what a typical camp day...
His hand is enormous, or more specifically, his fingers are completely disproportionate to the rest of him. As my girlfriend who actually spotted this said, he's got alien hands. And I get what she means. The fingers are legitimately longer than the haunch of the hand itself, but hey, maybe I'm reading too much into this. Although the bunny's eyes certainly seem to agree with me as he looks like he's fighting for his life. But let's continue. Circling back to a couple minutes before this, at 2 minutes and 28 seconds, we're introduced to one of the children's activities, the leg snapping contest, or whatever they call this. Yeah, what the heck is this, bro? Running kids off the ledge of a hill and having them jump as far and high as they can into solid ground? I'm very pro going outside and going on adventures, but literally nowhere at any time was this considered an okay activity for kids. You're asking children to break their legs, tear ankles, or maybe even worse. This was the first thing that really caught me, and after witnessing these events and others, I became curious enough to dive more into the camp and see if perhaps it still existed. And after a little bit of quick research, lo and behold, it still does. And it continues under the same two operators as we saw in the video, a man named Jeff and his wife Lonnie, which makes my life very easy because I can quickly pull up all the reviews from people who actually attended this place. And at first, the camp is by all appearances the epitome of what a summer camp should be. Warm, welcoming, fun, educational, and incredibly well managed. In fact, it's so incredible, I'm a little suspicious. No one has ever got all good reviews when you're dealing with thousands of customers. Trust me, I get hate comments all the time, so I dug a bit further. What I wanted to find were older reviews, preferably from the pre-AI era, as well as having these reviews be on an unaffiliated site where Jeff and Lonnie, the camp owners, couldn't delete dissenting opinions. And wouldn't you know it, these two were oddly enough almost all positive. Almost all. Buried within these reviews going back almost 20 years, we get a very different look at the summer camp. And from this, there are 4 distinct reviews that I think are worth pointing out. 2 from parents, 1 from a camper, and 1 from a counselor. Feel free to pause this video and read each of the reviews in full as they are wild and worth the read, but for the sake of time, I'll give the spark notes. The first is from a parent who describes the management of the camp as awful. And when she came to visit because she was worried about her child, which already is a red flag, Jeff, the camp owner, couldn't find her child for over an hour. The next is from a counselor who discusses how terrible the camp was for her working there, and basically says that they were all thrown in with little to no training, no direction, and basically no activity planning. And on top of this, what's even more wild is that she says there was zero regard for safety at the shooting range, where there were 8 incidences of bullets ricocheting back at the kids. And their solution for that was to buy grass cutting goggles, which, come on, 1, you're always supposed to be wearing eye protection, 2, what is that going to do when a bullet comes flying at you? The third review is from a camper who discusses the camp accurately based on the pictures online. Run down and rotting, apparently his year, back in 07, the camp boat sunk, the canoes leaked, and the dock fell apart. Even worse, kids got sick from the lake water, he says, and the counselors, who are just high school kids, bullied him, and this kid ended up having lice for 3 weeks but wasn't allowed to see a nurse. My suspicion is they didn't actually have a nurse. And the final review from a parent is what I think wraps up this whole part of the saga very nicely. And in short, she tells us the following. The counselors are children themselves who hate the work because they were treated horribly. The other parents have all got in contact with each other and are talking about how awful their kid's time was at the camp. And then this mother goes on to prove our suspicions about the reviews correct when she drops the truth bomb that all the positive reviews about this camp have been written by Lonnie, the co-director of the camp. And then she proves this by emphasizing the grammar errors in all the posts. And then I decided to go back and read some of these, and from what I read, she's apparently right. This is all a facade. So what's really going on at this camp and what the intentions of the ownership are, that's up for you guys to decide, because I've been left even more disturbed by summer camps from this than when I cried my way out of one as a kid. And with that, we have now completed our dive into some of the craziest YouTube rabbit holes there are. If you guys really liked the video and want to see another one, make sure to let me know in the comments below. Like it, share it, and subscribe. Make sure to join the Discord and follow me on Instagram as well. I appreciate all of you guys for making it this far. It really means the world to me. And if you did make it this far, comment below Microsoft Word. So everyone who didn't make it this far has no idea what's going on. And with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for watching and for being here. And I can't wait to see each and every one of you in the next one.